Hello friend, so glad you're here tonight. Get comfortable, pull the covers up and let the day loosen its grip. There's nowhere else you need to be. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe and tap the like button on tonight's video. Both are free, they take 2 seconds and they help this channel more than you'd think. And you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. Tonight, we are going to slow everything down and live a single, ordinary day inside the Wild West. Not the legend, but the real day, built only from what history actually records. There is nothing to do and nothing to remember. If you drift off somewhere between morning and nightfall, that is exactly how this is meant to work. Settle in, let your breathing slow down and let the day begin. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of a sleep app built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it, it should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. You wake before dawn in the Wild West, the air still cool and heavy with the scent of pine. As you dress, your hands deftly tuck a revolver into your belt, a necessity here, where shotgun laws have been enacted by local governments. These laws permit citizens to carry firearms openly for self-defense, transforming every person you meet into a potential ally or threat. The town is quiet at this hour. The only sounds, the soft rustle of your boots on the dusty path and the distant clucking of chickens starting their day. You pass by the local saloon, its doors not yet open, and see a sign declaring, "No weapons allowed." A stark reminder that even in this wild frontier, there are rules to be followed. The weight of your revolver is a constant companion. Its cold metal against your skin, a familiar comfort in this unpredictable land. A faint breeze carries the distant echo of a lone wolf's howl, a reminder that danger lurks beyond the town's edge. The sun begins to rise, casting long shadows that dance and flicker as you walk, the first light filtering through the dense pine canopy overhead. Your steps are deliberate, each one taken with the awareness that in this world, survival depends on being both swift and cautious. Your hand instinctively moves to the revolver at every shadow that seems too still or sound that's slightly too loud. The path beneath your boots is a mixture of dust and small pebbles, some sharp enough to sting but not slow you down. Each breath brings in the crisp, resinous scent of pine needles and the faint hint of smoke from distant chimneys. A slight tremor runs through your body as you approach a narrow alleyway, a place where the sun hasn't yet reached and darkness still lingers. Your fingers trace the smooth wood of your revolver's grip, a calming ritual to ensure it's within reach. The alley's shadows stretch out like tendrils, grasping for any sign of movement. Each step echoes slightly in the confined space, the sound bouncing off the rough stone walls and fading into the dim light. A soft creak from above signals a loose board, its presence noted for future reference. The dust beneath your boots muffles the sound of your steps, each footfall muted yet steady as you navigate the uneven cobblestones. Your breath condenses in the chilled air, forming a faint mist that dissipates quickly in the encroaching sunlight. The alley's stone walls are slick with dew, their coldness seeping through your coat, a stark contrast to the warmth of the sun beginning to bathe the town. Your grip tightens slightly on the revolver, its weight a reassuring presence as you move cautiously into the light. You wake in the late morning light of the Wild West, a period stretching from the 1850s to the 1910s. Your hands grip the smooth metal handle of your cup as you take a sip of strong coffee, the steam curling upwards towards your face. The air is filled with the scent of pine and the faint hint of smoke from distant fires. You step outside, feeling the crisp breeze against your skin, and hear the distant echo of cattle lowing in the fields. Your boots crunch on the dry earth as you make your way to the barn, the sun already warming the day. The morning's duties await you, as they do every day in this time and place. The sun's rays filter through the barn's open door, casting long shadows that dance with each movement of your hands. Your gloves creak slightly as you lift a pitchfork, its tines glinting in the sunlight. A soft dusting of hay clings to your clothes, remnants of the night's rest. The animals stir gently, their breaths visible in the cool morning air. The barn's wood creaks gently with each step, its surface worn smooth by years of use. You can feel the warmth of the animals' bodies as you move closer to their stalls, their breaths misting in the chilly air. A soft, nickering sound greets your arrival, a familiar welcome from the horses. The barn cat stretches lazily on a bale of hay, its fur matted with dust and dried straw. The rough wool of your coat scratches slightly as you lean against a post, the wood splinters digging gently into your back. The barn's familiar smell of hay and manure fills your nose, grounding you in this place that feels like home. A soft tickle on your neck signals a fly has landed, its tiny legs barely perceptible. The sunlight streaming through the barn door warms your face, creating a soothing contrast to the cool air inside. The barn's air is damp and earthy, carrying with it the faint scent of oats. The hay beneath your feet gives slightly with each step, providing a soft cushion for your boots. A loose nail on the wall catches your coat, making a quiet scraping sound as you pass by. The sunbeam filtering through the barn door lands on your face, casting a warm glow on your skin. The pitchfork's handle rests comfortably in the crook of your arm, its weight familiar from years of practice. Your fingers flex gently on the rough wooden shaft, the grooves worn smooth by repeated use. The cat's eyes blink slowly, lazily watching as you scoop hay into a wheelbarrow, the metal rings clinking softly against each other. A small cloud of dust rises with each movement, catching the sunlight streaming through the open barn door. In the Wild West, access to clean water is limited. You rise with the sun, feeling the day's heat already building. Your hands grip the edge of the basin, the water cool against your skin, but you know it's not enough for a proper wash. The scent of the nearby saloon lingers in the air, mingling with the faint smell of soap from your attempt at cleaning. You wipe your face with the cloth, feeling the grit and dirt it leaves behind. The rule is clear: conserve water, no matter how much you'd like to scrub away the day's sweat and dust. Your reflection in the mirror shows a face that's seen better days, the lines of age and weariness etched deep. You take a sip from your canteen, knowing it must last until tonight's refill at the town well. You run your tongue over your teeth, feeling the gritty residue from last night's dinner, a simple meal of beans and dried meat. The sun is already high in the sky, casting long shadows that dance across the cracked floorboards of your cabin. Each movement is deliberate, each action calculated to save water for later tasks like tending to your horse or washing your clothes. You splash another droplet onto your face, the cool liquid momentarily refreshing before evaporating in the rising heat. You reach for the worn towel beside the basin, the coarse fabric rough against your damp skin. Each slow stroke dries your face, leaving streaks of dirt on the cloth surface. The cabin door creaks open, a soft breeze offering momentary relief from the heat, carrying with it the distant sound of cattle lowing. You glance at the wooden bucket by the window, knowing its water is meant for other tasks, not your parched throat. Your hands pause for a moment before pulling the towel away, leaving behind the remnants of yesterday's journey embedded in your skin. The day's chores await, each step outside the cabin promising more dust and sweat. You take a deep breath, the scent of pine from the wood floors grounding you as you face another day under the relentless sun. A faint rustle comes from the corner, where your bedroll lies, reminding you of the simple comforts that must wait until nightfall. The cabin's timbers creak softly as you move, each step deliberate to minimize wasted effort. Your clothes stick slightly to your skin, the fabric already damp from sweat before the day has truly begun. The morning light filters through the thin curtains, casting a warm glow over the sparse belongings scattered about the room. You reach for your hat, the worn brim offering some respite from the sun's unyielding glare. You rise with the sun, its warmth filtering through the thin fabric of your window. Your hands find their way to the wooden floorboards, cool beneath your touch. Outside, the town begins to stir. The air carries the faint scent of smoke from last night's campfire and the distant hum of activity from the saloon down the street. You know that today, as always, the town operates under frontier justice, a swift and unyielding system. It is not uncommon to hear the sharp crack of a gun echo through the streets, a grim reminder of the rules that govern this place. The morning's duties await you. First, the stable needs tending to, and then the general store. You move with a quiet resolve, your steps measured as you prepare for another day in this wild and untamed land. The creak of the door hinge greets you as you step outside, your boots meeting the soft, uneven earth. The sun's rays reflect off the dew-kissed grass, casting a gentle glow on the weathered facades of the buildings. The smell of pine from the nearby forest mingles with the cool morning air, grounding you in this rugged terrain. As you make your way through the quiet streets, the shadows slowly recede, unveiling another day under the vast open sky. You can feel the earth beneath your feet, solid and unyielding, as if it has always been there, waiting for you. The cool breeze whispers through the tall grass, bringing with it a sense of calm that only nature can provide. Your breath mists in the air, a visible reminder of the life within you. The sun climbs higher, its warmth slowly overtaking the chill of the morning, signaling the start of a new day. The wooden gate of the stable creaks open, revealing the warm, earthy scent of the animals within. Your fingers trace the worn grain of the handle, a comforting familiarity in their touch. Each hoof step on the hay-strewn floor resonates, the sound muffled yet present, echoing the rhythm of your own steps. The sun's glow through the stable window casts long shadows, dancing gently across the wooden walls. You can hear the soft nicker of the horses as they greet your approach, their warm breath visible in the chilled air. The stable's interior is bathed in a golden hue, the sunlight filtering through the dust-covered windows. The scent of hay and leather envelopes you, a comforting reminder of days past. Each stall door creaks open with a gentle push, revealing the patient eyes of your companions. The morning sun is barely a memory when your hands, still stiff from sleep, take hold of the reins. The hours ahead are unyielding, each minute stretching out like an endless prairie. The rule is clear, no rest until sundown. Your eyes scan the range, taking in the scattered cattle that need tending. The air is thick with the smell of leather and horse, a constant reminder of the tasks ahead. Your mind wanders to the simple comforts of home, but the day's duties keep you rooted here, under the vast sky. The solitude is both a blessing and a curse, as the monotony of the cattle drive sets in. Each step forward feels like an eternity, but there's no time for reflection. The work must go on. The wind whips dust into your eyes, forcing you to blink away the sting as the horse plods onward. Your back aches from the constant sway of the saddle, each vertebrae protesting with every stride. The sun climbs higher, its heat intensifying, beads of sweat trickling down your spine. In the distance, a hawk circles, its cry piercing the silence. Your lips crack with the dryness of the air, and you lick them absently, tasting the grit of the trail. The horse's hooves stir up small clouds of dust with each step, making you feel like a ghost in the haze. The creak of the saddle beneath you is a steady rhythm that matches the pounding of your heart. Your hands grip the reins tighter as the terrain grows uneven, the horse's muscles working hard to maintain balance. The horse's breath comes in steady puffs of steam, blending into the chill of the early morning air. Each stride forward jars your teeth slightly, reminding you of the miles yet to travel. The saddle's worn leather creaks under the weight of your body, a sound that echoes the groan of ancient trees in a distant forest. Your boots press firmly into the stirrups, grounding you as the horse navigates the rocky path. The horse's mane brushes against your glove, a soft tickle that is both comforting and distracting. The wind carries whispers of the distant river, its song faint but persistent. A loose stone shifts beneath the horse's hooves, momentarily throwing off your balance before you regain your seat. Your breath fogs up in the cold air, each exhale visible like a brief cloud. Ts. You rise in the midday heat, your body already glistening with sweat. Daily life here involves simple tasks, like gathering firewood and water. Your hands grasp the axe, the sun-warmed wood smooth under your touch. You swing it down, chips flying in all directions. The pile grows beside you, each log a promise of warmth later. Water is next, the bucket heavy as you descend into the well. The air cools here, a slight relief from the day's heat. You pull at the bucket, the rope creaking softly in your hands. Back above ground, you fill your canteen and a pot for cooking. The smell of sun-baked earth fills your nostrils as you set about preparing dinner. Your muscles ache slightly from the morning's labour as you squat beside the fire pit, kindling small twigs into flame. The sun beats down on your neck, warm and constant, as you carefully layer larger sticks over the growing fire. Smoke rises in lazy spirals, carrying with it the faint smell of pine. You reach for a nearby stone, using it to grind the herbs from earlier, their scent filling the air around you. The grinding stone's rough edge catches your thumb, a small sting that fades quickly. You notice the calluses on your hands, reminders of tasks repeated over time. The sun dips slightly, casting longer shadows across the camp. A slight breeze picks up, carrying the scent of distant rain. The heat makes your shirt cling to your back as you sit by the fire. You can feel each tiny pebble beneath you through the thin fabric. The grinding stone warms in your hand, its surface now damp with the juice of the herbs. Your breaths come slowly, deeply, matching the rhythm of the smoke rising from the flames. The smoke curls around your face like a warm embrace, carrying with it the comforting scent of roasting herbs. Your eyes water slightly from the gentle heat of the fire, tiny embers dancing in the air as you add more wood to the flames. The earth beneath you seems to hum softly with the day's residual warmth, each pebble a slight pulse against your back. The rhythmic sound of the grinding stone against the herbs blends seamlessly with the crackling fire, creating a soothing melody that accompanies your every move. The fire's warmth spreads through your limbs, a comforting weight that eases the day's tension. The grinding stone's rhythm becomes a meditative lullaby, each rotation a soft whisper against the mortar. Small flecks of herb cling to your fingers, their green hue contrasting with the reddish-brown earth beneath you. Your breaths deepen further, matching the slow inhale and exhale of the fire's steady dance. As you step inside your dwelling, the cool shade of its walls is a welcome relief from the midday sun. Your hand brushes against the smooth adobe surface, leaving a faint trace in the soft earthen material. The room is quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves outside. You notice the sturdy, familiar shape of your shotgun, leaning against the wall, a constant presence in this world. The air carries a subtle scent of dried herbs and smoked meat, remnants of last night's dinner. The adobe structure provides a peaceful respite from the wilderness outside, its thick walls offering both shelter and comfort. Your fingers trace the worn wood of the table, a silent witness to many meals shared within these walls. As you sit down, the creaking chair echoes softly in the empty room, a reminder of the solitude that often accompanies life in this remote settlement. The sun's rays filter through the small window, casting a warm glow on the earthen floor. A soft breeze carries the faint whisper of distant birdsong into the room, while the steady hum of a nearby creek serves as nature's lullaby. The dim light accentuates the intricate patterns carved into the table, each groove telling a story of time past. You can almost taste the hearty stew simmering in the pot, its aroma lingering from yesterday's meal. The adobe walls seem to breathe with the passing day, their porous nature allowing a gentle flow of cool air. The sunlight dancing on the earthen floor creates a calming rhythm, like the slow pulse of a distant heartbeat. A single ray of light stretches across the room, illuminating the dust particles that float gently in its path. The wooden shutters, worn smooth from years of use, creak softly as they sway slightly in the breeze, casting ever-changing shadows on the wall. The adobe's natural insulation muffles the distant rumble of thunder, creating a sense of tranquility within. The faint crackle of embers in the hearth hints at the fire that once warmed this space, now reduced to a smouldering remnant. A gentle tapestry of dust motes dances in the sunlight, their movement guided by unseen currents. The subtle hum of the wind outside is punctuated by the occasional creak of the adobe walls, echoing the steady heartbeat of the dwelling itself. The adobe's earthy scent fills your lungs as you inhale deeply, a comforting reminder of the land it came from. The soft texture of the mud bricks absorbs any excess heat, creating an even temperature throughout the room. Small cracks in the walls reveal glimpses of the packed earthen mixture within, evidence of the meticulous craftsmanship that went into its construction. A subtle warmth radiates from the adobe walls, a result of the sun's energy stored during the day and released gradually into the room. As you sit in the shade of your adobe home, the scent of sun-baked clay fills the air. Your hands brush against the timber framing that supports the roof above you, the wood warm and rough under your touch. You notice the craftsmanship of the stone masonry that forms the walls around you, each stone fitted precisely into place by skilled hands long before yours. The midday sun casts a soft glow on the earthen floors, highlighting the simplicity and strength of these primary construction materials that have shaped your world in the Wild West. The scent of the nearby cactus garden wafts in through the open window, mingling with the aroma of the clay. The wind picks up slightly, rustling the leaves of the potted plants on your windowsill and casting a faint shadow across the floor. Your chair creaks softly as you lean back, the worn leather yielding to your weight. A faint buzz from outside signals that the midday world is still humming with life, even under the relentless sun. The adobe walls absorb the heat of the day, creating a cool sanctuary within. Your fingertips trace the patterns in the woven blanket that drapes over your legs, each thread worn smooth by time and use. The faint ticking of the wooden clock in the corner counts out the steady rhythm of the afternoon, its pendulum swinging gently back and forth. Through the window, you see a lizard sunning itself on a rock, its body still as it awaits the next insect to wander by. The beads of sweat forming on your brow are slowly absorbed by the bandana tied around your head, keeping you cool in the arid heat. The faint sizzle of oil in a pan from the kitchen drifts through the air, hinting at the meal to come. A soft breeze carrying the scent of distant rain brushes against your cheek, offering brief respite from the day's warmth. The gentle hum of bees foraging in the nearby flowers adds a soothing layer to the midday symphony. The sun's rays flicker through the leaves of a nearby tree, casting dappled shadows that dance gently across the floor. The breeze carries the soft rustle of grasses swaying in the field beyond your home. A faint hum from a nearby hive signals the industry of worker bees within. The scent of dry sagebrush fills the air as the wind shifts slightly, painting a subtle picture of the expansive landscape outside. You enter your humble abode, the rustic comfort of it enveloping you like an old blanket. The minimalist furnishings are not stark, but rather inviting, each piece serving a purpose. Your hands lightly brush against the smooth, worn wood of the table as you sit down to eat. The aroma of a simple meal fills the air, grounding you in this moment. The house is quiet, just the subtle creaks of old wood and the soft clink of silverware against your plate. There's a sense of order here. Each item has its place, each rule is clear. The sunlight streaming through the window casts a warm glow over everything, making even the simplest task feel significant. Your chair groans slightly as you lean back, content in this moment of midday respite. Your fingers trace the grain of the wooden spoon as you stir your meal, feeling the rhythm of each gentle turn. The warmth from the stove radiates across the room, a soft hug against your skin. A faint whisper of a breeze from the open window brings with it the distant hum of life outside, barely audible yet comforting. As you take your first bite, the flavors slowly unfold on your tongue, each taste lingering like an old friend. The sunlight dances on the wall, casting shadows that sway gently with the breeze, like a lullaby in light. The spoon's worn bowl holds your meal tenderly, each bite releasing tiny steam clouds that rise and dissipate slowly. The chair's soft cushion conforms to your back, offering support like an old friend's hand on your shoulder. The window's frame creaks slightly as it catches the breeze, a quiet conversation with the house around you. The floorboards beneath your feet groan softly with each step, their decades-old grain visible under the worn rug. The ticking of an antique clock in the corner marks time steadily, its hands moving in rhythm with the sway of a nearby pendulum. A subtle scent of beeswax lingers from recent polishing, blending with the meal's aroma. The shadows cast by the window's frame dance subtly on the wall, creating fleeting patterns that shift with each breath of breeze. The sunlight warms the back of your neck, a gentle caress that makes you feel at ease. The spoon's worn handle fits snugly in your hand, its smooth surface familiar and comforting. The hum of distant life outside grows softer, as if the world is taking a breath along with you. The rhythmic ticking of the clock seems to align with the sway of the pendulum, creating a sense of harmony in the room. You find yourself in the midday world, the sun high above, baking the dusty landscape. Your hands grip a worn canteen, its metal surface warm from the day's heat. As you lift it to your lips, you notice the faint scent of manure and fertilizer wafting through the air. The water within tastes slightly off, a hint of something not quite right. You remember the whispers of cholera and typhoid fever, diseases that have taken many lives in this land. Each sip is a calculated risk, a dance with fate. You've heard tales of others who weren't so lucky, their bodies racked with pain and weakness. Yet, there's no choice but to drink, for the desert sun demands its tribute. Your eyes scan the horizon, searching for any sign of relief from this constant battle against thirst and disease. A thin layer of dust coats your lips after each drink, the taste lingering long after you've swallowed. The canteen's weight shifts in your hand as the water level lowers, a grim reminder of its diminishing supply. Your stomach churns slightly, not from hunger but from uncertainty, wondering if this time will be different. The sun continues its relentless march across the sky, offering no respite from its unforgiving gaze. Your throat tightens as the water passes through, each swallow a deliberate act of will. The sun's glare forces your eyes to squint, the harsh light reflecting off the dusty ground. A bead of sweat rolls down your temple, mixing with the dust and grime on your skin. Your breaths come slow and measured, conserving what little moisture remains in your body. The canteen's worn leather strap digs into your palm as you cling to it tighter, a subconscious attempt to slow the water's disappearance. The metal cap feels cool against your lips, momentarily easing the heat that's begun to rise from within. Each breath carries with it a slight taste of dust, a constant companion in this arid world. Your hand trembles slightly as you lower the canteen, a faint anticipation of the next sip already stirring. The desert wind whispers through the empty landscape, carrying with it a faint hint of distant rain that never arrives. Your fingers brush against the canteen's worn metal, tracing the lines and dents earned from countless journeys across this barren land. The sun's rays bear down upon your back, heating the fabric of your clothes to match the temperature of the scorched earth beneath you. A lone bird calls out in the distance, its cry carrying a haunting echo that seems to blend with the unyielding heat. In this moment of the day, you find yourself seated at a long wooden table in the shade of an old adobe building. The air is filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and hearty stews simmering over open fires. You can hear the distant murmur of conversation as townsfolk gather to share meals and news. Your hands, calloused from hard work, reach for a tin cup of cool water, knowing that in this community, informal agreements guide daily life more than any formal law ever could. You see a stranger join the table, and without hesitation, he is offered a warm meal and a place to rest his weary bones. The local customs here are as clear as the sky above. Respect for fellow travelers is not just a suggestion, but an unspoken rule that binds everyone together. As you take a bite of your food, you can feel the subtle vibrations of laughter and friendly chatter, a symphony that signifies a day well spent in this close-knit society. The sun filters through the branches above, casting dappled shadows that dance on the tablecloth. A slight breeze carries the warmth of the afternoon, mixing with the comforting aroma of the meal. Your neighbours lean in to hear the stranger's tale, their eyes reflecting the flickering flames from the nearby fire. In this moment, time seems to slow, allowing each morsel of food and every word exchanged to be savoured fully. Your fingers brush against the rough grain of the wooden table as you lean back in your chair, feeling the comforting weight of a full belly. The sun-warmed adobe walls absorb the gentle hum of conversation, creating an intimate echo that makes each story feel like a secret shared among friends. A stray cat, drawn by the scent of food, weaves between legs under the table, its purring a soft counterpoint to the human voices. A lone fly buzzes lazily above the table, undisturbed by the laughter and chatter around it, adding a touch of wildness to this peaceful scene. A soft breeze lifts the edge of your napkin, carrying with it a faint whisper from the nearby river. The worn stone floor beneath your feet retains the day's warmth, subtly accentuating each step as someone walks by to refill your cup. The table's weathered surface, smooth from years of use, seems to absorb the stories being told, holding them close like a cherished memory. You find yourself in the heart of the town, a place where every surface seems to be covered in some form of refuse. The lack of proper waste disposal systems here is starkly apparent. You watch as people casually toss their trash onto the ground, and you can't help but notice the piles growing larger by the day. The air is filled with an unpleasant odor, a mix of rotting food and other unidentifiable scents that seem to linger wherever you go. It's clear that this lack of sanitation has taken a toll on the community's health. You see children playing nearby, their laughter echoing through the streets despite the less than ideal conditions they're growing up in. The ground beneath your feet is a soft, squishy mess of discarded food and other waste that has begun to decompose. The flies buzz around you incessantly, landing on every surface, including your skin. The wind carries tiny particles of trash through the air, making it difficult to breathe without tasting the filth. Every step requires careful negotiation to avoid sinking into the mire or slipping on something slippery and unseen. The soles of your shoes are caked with a dark, sticky residue that clings to every surface you walk on. Every so often, you catch yourself inhaling deeply through the nose before remembering and quickly switching to breaths taken through the mouth. The heat of the sun beats down, accelerating the decay around you, making the stench even more unbearable. Each time you swat at a fly, your hand comes away with remnants of waste that are now indistinguishable from the ground. You feel a gritty film coating your teeth and tongue, evidence of the ever-present dust and decay that permeate every breath. The sunlight filtering through the smog casts an eerie, muted glow over everything, as if nature itself is trying to hide the squalor beneath a thin veil. Each step sends small clouds of flies into the air, their buzzing intensifying before they land again on the nearest surface. Your clothes cling to your body, damp with sweat and grime from the humid, fetid air. The soles of your shoes squeak softly with each step, the decaying matter beneath creating a slimy, uneven surface. A thin layer of dust coats everything, making it seem like the entire town is slowly crumbling under the weight of its own filth. The heat causes the piles of trash to emit an almost palpable wave of warmth, intensifying the odor and making you feel lightheaded. Small, scuttling creatures dart between your feet, unseen but sensed, adding to the discomfort of each cautious step. The house you live in is simple, prioritizing what's needed over what looks nice. Your hands trace the plain walls, feeling the uneven texture of mud bricks. The floor beneath your feet is packed dirt, cool to touch. The window frames are rough-hewn wood, not perfectly straight or smooth. There's a single room for everything: cooking, sleeping, living. A faint smell of smoke lingers in the air from the fireplace where you prepare meals. Functionality is key here. There's no place for excess. Every item has its purpose, nothing more, nothing less. You notice the thatched roof sagging slightly in the middle, a sign of age and wear from rain and wind. The fireplace has a simple stone surround, blackened by years of use. A few hooks hold essential tools: a pot, a knife, a rope, within easy reach. At night, you sit on a low stool, the flickering light of the fire casting long shadows across the familiar space. The stool seat is worn smooth by years of use, offering comfort despite its humble appearance. The thatch above muffles the sound of raindrops, creating a gentle patter on the roof. A small woven mat lies beside the fireplace, its edges frayed from constant treading. The door's wooden latch clicks softly when you secure it at night, sealing you in with the familiar warmth. The bed is a simple pallet of straw and cloth in the corner, offering respite from the day's labour. The clay pots lining the walls hold provisions, their earthy scent blending with the smoke from the hearth. The door creaks softly as it swings open, revealing the world beyond your cosy haven. The wind whispers through the thatched roof, a gentle lullaby to accompany your slumber. The earthen floor absorbs the day's heat, radiating a comforting warmth up through your blanket. The woven mat beneath you cradles your body, giving slightly with each breath. The door latch clicks softly in the breeze, a rhythmic tick that blends into the night symphony. A tiny crack in the roof lets in a sliver of moonlight, casting a soft glow on your sleeping form. The gentle rustling of the thatch overhead becomes a soothing whisper, echoing in your subconscious mind. The weight of the blanket upon you seems to melt into the mattress, creating a sense of envelopment. A faint creak from the stool leg against the floor is the last sound before drifting off, signaling the house settling into night. Each slow breath inhales the comforting scent of smoke and earth, exhaling a peaceful tranquility. You find yourself in a makeshift meeting room, the air thick with the scent of burning tobacco from the pipes of those gathered around you. Your hands rest on a rough-hewn table, surrounded by men who bear the weight of justice upon their shoulders. They are not lawmen, but they have taken it upon themselves to ensure order in these unruly times. These vigilance committees, as they call themselves, have formed to fill the void left by ineffective official systems. You sense a palpable tension in the room, as each man knows that the decisions made here could mean life or death for those they judge. The rules are clear. If the law fails, these men will act in its stead. The sun casts long shadows through the window, illuminating the serious expressions of your fellow committee members. A sense of purpose fills the room, and you know that this is no mere gathering. It is a group bound by necessity and duty. You can almost taste the urgency in the air, like a bitter smoke lingering after the pipes have gone cold. The silence is not comfortable. It is heavy with unspoken thoughts and weighs on your chest like a stone. Each creak of the floorboards echoes through the room, a somber reminder that this meeting does not end when you walk out. The weight of responsibility hangs in the balance, as tangible as the worn-out chairs that bear the scars of countless debates before. The clink of a glass against the table punctuates the quiet, a harsh sound in the otherwise hushed space. The lantern's flame flickers softly, casting dancing shadows on the stained walls. The scent of leather and dust permeates the air, a constant reminder of the worn-out books that line the shelves behind you. Each breath feels deliberate, as if even the act of drawing in air must be considered with care. The rough-hewn table beneath your fingers seems to absorb the tension, its aged wood darkening with each somber exchange. The ticking of a distant clock punctuates the stillness, echoing through the room like a metronome of time slipping away. A faint breeze lifts the tattered edges of a parchment, whispering secrets. Only it can hear as it dances across the tabletop. Each rustle of paper resonates in the hush, an echo of decisions made and lives altered. The rough wool of your coat itches at the back of your neck, a small distraction from the weight of the discussions. A faint drip of wax from the candle above echoes in your ears like a metronome, counting down each moment. Your fingers trace the grain of the table, finding solace in the familiar pattern. The embers in the hearth glow like dying stars, casting a fading light over the worn faces around you. Your fingers trace the worn edges of a well-handled medical manual, its pages filled with advice from doctors who have seen it all. The air is heavy with the scent of herbs drying in the window, their aroma a familiar comfort. You know that in this town, healthcare isn't what you're used to. The local practitioner learned his trade through trial and error rather than formal schooling. Yet, he's the best you have, the closest thing to a doctor for miles around. His remedies are often rudimentary, but they've worked before. You run your hand over the rough surface of the table where many settlers have sat, looking for relief from their ailments. The quiet hum of the room is interrupted only by the occasional rustle of pages as you search for a solution to a new problem. The smell of tincture lingers in the air, a reminder that despite its simplicity, this practice is all you've got. It might not be perfect, but it's what keeps you going in this wider world. You feel a faint warmth on your skin as the oil of lavender is applied to your temples, its calming effect more about tradition than science. The wooden floorboards creak softly underfoot, worn smooth by countless pairs of boots passing through for help. A single feather, likely from a nearby bird's nest, rests on the windowsill, a silent witness to the quiet healing that takes place here. The soft glow of the oil lamp casts long shadows across the room, its flickering light steady and comforting as you read. The scent of smoke from the nearby hearth mingles with the herbs, a reminder that life here is simple but warm. Your hand reaches for the pestle and mortar, their smooth surfaces worn by countless hands seeking to grind remedies. As you turn the pages, the ink seems to whisper ancient secrets, connecting you to those who came before. Your fingers find comfort in the weight of the old book, its spine cracked and pages yellowed with age. The room's silence is broken only by the occasional ticking of a pocket watch, time measured steadily rather than rushed. The faint scratch of quill on parchment echoes softly as you document each remedy tried, a record for future reference. A soft breeze stirs the dried herbs, their rustling whispers filling the room with a sense of tranquility. The rustle of pages under your fingers echoes the soft crinkle of dried leaves underfoot in autumn's gentle breeze. The faint scent of beeswax on the candle wick mingles with the herbs, a reminder of summer's warmth even as winter's chill approaches. Your thumb rests comfortably on the leather-bound spine, its texture smooth and familiar from years of use. The distant hoot of an owl outside serves as a quiet companion to your reading, its rhythm steady and soothing. You are sitting by the window, watching people pass by on their way to the general store. The air is thick with a slight chill, carrying whispers of a coming change. You overhear two women talking, their voices hushed yet urgent. They mention influenza epidemics, not just one, but multiple. Your hands pause in their knitting, the wool feeling rough against your fingertips as you take in their words. The town seems quieter today, almost holding its breath. You can see it in the way people hurry, their faces a mix of worry and resolve. The rule is clear: stay inside when you can, avoid crowds, keep your distance. A faint smell of herbs lingers in the air, a subtle hint at the remedies people are turning to for comfort. The streets are washed with an extra care, water glistening on the dirt as if trying to cleanse the world of this invisible threat. Your knitting needles rest quietly in your lap as you watch the world outside through the window pane, frosted with a thin layer of condensation. The town's clock tower chimes softly, echoing in the hushed air. The scent of burning wood wafts from chimneys, smoke curling lazily into the sky. A lone bird perches on the sill, its wings folded neatly as it surveys the quiet street below. Your fingers trace the rough wool in your lap, feeling its texture as if to reassure yourself of its reality amidst the uncertain world outside. The sun casts long shadows through the window, their movement slow and deliberate, echoing the careful steps taken on the street below. The silence is not complete. It's filled with distant whispers, like the soft rustling of leaves in autumn, hinting at the unease that blankets the town. A gentle breeze carries the faintest scent of rain, as if nature itself is preparing for the change to come. The wind picks up slightly, causing the leaves on the nearby trees to dance gently, their whispers blending with those of the townsfolk. A stray cat stretches languidly in a sunbeam that filters through the window, its fur ruffling softly as it yawns. The kettle whistles faintly from the kitchen, signaling that tea is ready, offering a small comfort amidst the unease. Across the room, the grandfather clock ticks steadily, each second marking time's inexorable march forward, unaltered by the fears outside. The steam from the tea rises slowly, curling around the rim of your cup as you take a careful sip. The warmth spreads gently through your hands, grounding you amidst the uncertainty. A small, faded photograph sits on the windowsill, its edges worn by time and use, reflecting the muted light that filters through the glass. The street lamps flicker to life earlier than usual, their soft glow casting long shadows across the quiet street below. You walk the dusty street of Dodge City, the sun casting long shadows across the boardwalks. Your boots kick up small clouds of dirt with each step, the air filled with a faint smell of horse and leather. You pass by a saloon, one of over 400 known to dot this town in 88-87. The creaking sign above it swings gently in the breeze, advertising whiskey and entertainment within. Your hand brushes against the worn wood of the saloon door as you continue on your way, the muffled sounds of laughter and clinking glasses spilling out onto the street. The warmth of the setting sun on your back contrasts with the coolness of the air as it begins to stir. The occasional tumbleweed rolls by, caught in the subtle breeze, adding to the soft rustling of the leaves above. A lone fly buzzes around you, its path erratic and aimless. A distant church bell chimes slowly, each toll lingering in the quiet afternoon. The dry heat of the day begins to dissipate, the dust in the air settling gently on your clothes. A slight chill creeps into the shadows cast by the buildings, hinting at the night's approach. The once bustling street is now quiet, with only the occasional horse-drawn wagon breaking the stillness. Your steps slow, allowing you to take in the tranquil scene as the day draws to a peaceful close. A faint wind carries the scent of distant rain, hinting at a change in weather. Your fingers trace the carved handle of your revolver, its cool metal a reminder of the day's potential dangers. The flickering light from an oil lamp inside a nearby window casts elongated shadows on the wall, creating patterns that dance and shift with the flame's movement. The quiet hum of crickets begins to rise, their rhythmic song signaling the approach of twilight. The cool evening breeze brushes against your face, carrying with it the faint scent of sagebrush and pine from the distant mountains. The dry earth beneath your feet feels slightly damp underfoot as the moisture begins to seep up from below. The soft glow of a lantern in the distance casts long, dancing shadows that seem to move with a life of their own. A solitary coyote lets out a mournful howl, its cry echoing through the quiet town, signaling the true beginning of night's reign. The soft glow of the lanterns casts a warm amber hue over the weathered facades of the buildings. The faint crackle of embers from a nearby fire pit mingles with the distant hum of crickets, creating a peaceful symphony. A thin layer of dew begins to form on the leaves above, adding a subtle glimmer under the lamplight. The gentle sway of the saloon sign creaks softly in the breeze, its rhythmic motion soothing and reassuring. You take your seat on the porch, the sun just beginning to dip below the horizon. The town is quiet, but there's a sense of order here that wasn't present in the wilder parts of the frontier. You notice the sheriff's badge glinting in the sunlight as he passes by on his horse, a reassuring sight amidst the dust and chaos. Many of the buildings have signs indicating their purpose: the saloon, the general store, even the small jail tucked away in the corner. The smell of freshly baked bread wafts from the nearby bakery, mingling with the scent of horses and smoke from a distant campfire. You watch as children play near the water pump, their laughter filling the air. It's clear that despite the ruggedness of this land, there are rules here, laws that must be followed. The sheriff nods at you as he rides past again, his gaze sweeping over the town, ensuring all is in order. You can hear the distant clatter of a blacksmith at work, the steady rhythm of his hammer against the anvil, a comforting soundtrack to this quiet afternoon. The porch swing creaks gently as you lean back, the wood warm beneath your hands. A cool breeze whispers through the trees, carrying the faint scent of wildflowers from a nearby meadow. The town's clock tower chimes softly, its rhythm punctuating the quiet hum of daily life. A horse-drawn wagon rumbles slowly down the dirt road, raising a soft cloud of dust in its wake. You can feel the warmth of the day lingering in the porch floorboards, a reminder of the sun's retreat. The scent of pine from the nearby forest mingles with the town's smells, creating a unique blend that is both familiar and comforting. A soft breeze rustles the leaves of an old oak tree, casting dappled shadows on the dusty road below. The sounds of the town begin to fade as the day slowly draws to a close. The distant hills begin to glow with the soft hues of sunset, casting long shadows across the town's dusty streets. The crickets start their evening serenade, their chorus growing louder as the light fades. The porch lamp flickers to life, its warm glow welcoming the approaching night. A gentle hush falls over the town as day turns into dusk. The distant hills seem to exhale a soft, cool breath as the sun descends further. The town's lights, one by one, flicker into life, their warm glow reflecting off the dusty windows. A lone coyote begins its nightly song, its howl echoing through the quiet streets. The porch swing continues to creak gently, its rhythm almost hypnotic in the deepening twilight. You step into your classic Wild West house, its design shaped by pragmatism and the scarcity of resources. The air inside is cool, carrying a faint smell of wood smoke from the fireplace. Your hand reaches out to touch the rough-hewn wooden beams that support the ceiling, each one cut with simple tools, their surfaces still bearing the marks of their maker's hands. You notice the small window frames, just enough to let in light during the day and a slight breeze at night. The floor beneath your feet is packed earth, hardened by time and use. As you walk across it, you can feel its uneven surface under your boots, a constant reminder of the frontier life you lead. Your gaze falls on the simple furnishings, a wooden table, benches, a cot in the corner, each item chosen for its utility rather than any decorative value. The room is quiet now, bathed in the soft light of an oil lamp, its wick turned low for sleep. You settle into your bed, feeling the warmth and comfort of the thick wool blanket that has protected you from many a cold night. As you close your eyes, the familiar creaks and groans of the house around you serve as a gentle lullaby, guiding you into a deep and peaceful slumber. The house shifts gently with the wind outside, its timbers groaning softly like an old friend's sigh. The oil lamp casts long shadows that dance gracefully on the rough walls, creating a comforting rhythm. You can hear the muffled whispers of the night creatures through the thin window frames, their sounds blending seamlessly with the crackling fireplace embers. The air grows cooler as the fire dies down, wrapping you in its embrace, inviting sleep to claim your weary body. The moonlight streaming through the small window casts a silvery glow on the packed earth floor. The cotton nightshirt you wear is rough against your skin, but it's familiar and soothing. Your breath begins to slow, matching the rhythm of the creaking timbers. The scent of wood smoke lingers, a gentle reminder of the day's warmth as sleep takes hold. The wind outside picks up, whistling softly through the cracks in the walls, its melody a soothing accompaniment to your drifting thoughts. The cot beneath you, with its simple rope weaving, sags gently under your weight, forming perfectly to your body as if to say, "Rest now, rest here." Your hand brushes against the worn fabric of your nightshirt, feeling the texture of each thread woven by patient hands in times past. In the quiet stillness of the room, you can hear the distant rumble of thunder, a comforting reminder that even the wildest elements are respectful of sleep. You sit on the porch, the wooden planks warm under your hands from the day's sun. The awning above casts a gentle shadow, shielding you from the heat. The air is filled with the scent of pine and the distant hint of smoke from a neighbor's fireplace. The boards beneath you creak softly as you shift, the sound blending with the rhythmic hum of cicadas. You lean back in your chair, the breeze lightly ruffling the pages of your book. The awning's design is deliberate, a key feature to protect against the harsh daytime sun and the occasional dust storm that rolls through. As the night deepens, the stars begin to peek out from above the awning, their twinkling lights framed by its simple outline. You take a deep breath, the air cooler now, carrying with it the faint aroma of sagebrush. The quiet atmosphere invites reflection, as you watch the world around you slowly transform into shades of blue and grey under the moon's gentle glow. The awning's fabric rustles gently in the breeze, a soothing accompaniment to the distant hoot of an owl. The porch light casts a soft glow on the worn pages of your book, highlighting the lines you've read time and again. A moth flutters by, drawn to the light, its wings brushing against your cheek with a delicate touch. The chair beneath you creaks softly, settling into a comfortable position as if to signal that the night is young. The awning's edge tickles your bare arms as the breeze passes through, its gentle whisper lulling you deeper into relaxation. The pages of your book flutter softly, their corners curling slightly from the repeated touch of the wind. The porch light's warm glow reflects off the pages, creating a subtle dance of shadows on the wooden floorboards. The distant murmur of a stream mingles with the night sounds, its soothing rhythm inviting you to turn another page. The awning's fabric sways gently in the breeze, casting dancing shadows on your lap as you read. The wind carries with it the faint scent of wildflowers that bloom nearby, their sweet fragrance mingling with the pine and sagebrush. A soft glow from the porch light illuminates the leaves of the tree beside you, each one distinctly outlined against the deepening night sky. The chair's worn cushions yield slightly under your weight, providing a comfortable embrace as you continue to lose yourself in the story. You watch the embers of the fire die down, your eyes heavy with sleep. The night air is cool and filled with the scent of campfire smoke. You hear the distant howl of a coyote, its echo reminding you of the vastness of this land. Your thoughts wander to the day's work, the buffalo hunters moving swiftly across the plains, their rifles firing in quick succession. Millions of these mighty creatures have been taken for their hides and meat. You feel a sense of unease, knowing that this is a necessary part of life here. Your hands, still smelling faintly of gunpowder from earlier, rest on your lap as you gaze into the dark sky. The stars above seem to whisper ancient secrets, while your mind drifts away from the harsh reality of the day. You can barely keep your eyes open now, the heaviness in them growing stronger with each passing moment. The rhythmic sound of distant thunder begins to lull you further into a state of relaxation. A soft breeze brushes against your face, carrying with it the faintest hint of wildflowers mingling with the campfire smoke. Your breathing becomes deeper and more regular as the night sky above continues its slow, steady dance of stars. Your head nods slightly as your vision begins to blur, the edges of your surroundings softening into a comforting haze. The gentle sway of the nearby cottonwood leaves creates a hypnotic pattern against the starlit sky, their rustling whispers becoming the sole focus of your consciousness. Each breath you take brings with it a sense of calmness, the cool air filling your lungs like a soothing balm, easing away any lingering tension. The steady rhythm of your heartbeat becomes a quiet melody, lulling you ever closer to the peaceful realm of dreams. The fire's dying heat radiates through your clothes, a warm embrace that soothes the chill of the night. The steady hum of insects in the distance harmonizes with the rustling leaves, creating a symphony of nature that envelops you. Your eyelids flutter one last time before they surrender to the weight of sleep, the world around you fading into a soft, inviting darkness. The faint smell of sage from the plains drifts closer, its calming aroma, the final whisper that guides you gently into slumber. Your body relaxes fully into the soft earth beneath you, the ground's gentle support cradling you as if in a tender embrace. The distant howl of the coyote fades away, its melody replaced by the soothing hum of the night wind whispering through the leaves above. A subtle shift in the air brings a light mist that settles on your skin, a cool dampness that further calms your senses. The rhythmic pattern of your breathing aligns with the swaying branches, their movements now synchronized with your slow descent into sleep. Your hands are calloused from the picks, shovels, and axes you wield each day in the mines. You're acutely aware of the danger that surrounds you here: cave-ins, explosions, and disease outbreaks like black lung. The air is thick with dust and the faint smell of sulfur. You can feel the vibrations of the picks against the rock as your fellow miners work nearby. Your lamp casts long shadows on the tunnel walls, illuminating the dark passage you must navigate. The silence is broken only by the distant drip of water and the occasional clang of metal against stone. You know that one wrong move could bring everything down around you. Your breath is steady, your movements calculated as you make your way deeper into the mine, guided by the faint light from above. The rough walls of the tunnel scrape against your clothes, leaving a trail of dust in your wake. The weight of the helmet on your head feels heavier with each step, the lamp swinging gently as you walk. The sound of your boots echoes in the confined space, each footfall resonating through the solid earth beneath you. The beam of your lamp flickers slightly with each step, casting eerie patterns on the ceiling that seem to dance just out of reach. The taste of metal fills your mouth as you swallow, reminding you of the constant presence of minerals all around you. Each breath is labored, the air growing heavier, more stagnant the further you delve into the earth. Your heart pounds steadily in your chest, echoing the rhythm of the pick striking the rock. The lamp's flame wavers slightly with each exhale from your weary lungs, casting fleeting shadows across the coarse rock faces. The air grows colder, dampening your clothes and chilling the sweat on your brow. Your boots slip slightly on the uneven floor, forcing you to grip your tools tighter for stability. The silence is occasionally punctuated by the distant rumble of falling debris, a grim reminder of the unseen hazards that lurk in the darkness. The soles of your boots collect gritty residue with each step, leaving a faint trail on the otherwise unbroken floor. Your helmet strap digs into the nape of your neck, a constant reminder of its weight and necessity. The lamp's glow reveals the occasional glint of mica in the rock, tiny specks of light in the overwhelming darkness. Each breath brings a faint taste of the minerals that surround you, as if the very air is alive with the mine's essence. And that is where we leave this day, the Wild West gone quiet at last, centuries away from here. The day will still be waiting whenever you return to it. Sleep well.